Hello everyone. Today I am going to start second chapter of your biology book, that is biological classification. Let me briefly explain what the chapter will be about. In this chapter we will discuss about all kingdoms. Kingdom Monera, Kingdom Protista, Kingdom Fungi. We will discuss about these three kingdoms in detail. Clear children? We will discuss about these three kingdoms, Kingdom Monera, Protista and Fungi in detail. But other two kingdoms, Kingdom Plantae and Kingdom Animalia, we will discuss separately in next two chapters of your book. Clear children? Because these two kingdoms are very large. We will also discuss about virus, viroids, lichens and prions. Let's start with biological classification. We have already discussed in detail about classification in our first chapter, The Living World. Aristotle, the father of zoology and biology. Aristotle was the first to attempt a more scientific basis for classification. He classified plants into three categories based on morphological features. Clear children? He classified plants into three categories on the basis of morphological features. These were trees, shrubs and herbs. Similarly, he also classified animals into two groups. One that had red blood and the second one that did not have red blood. Clear children? Aristotle classified animals into two groups. One with red blood, animals with red blood, and the second one, animals without red blood. So he grouped animals based on simple visible characters such as the presence or absence of red blood, whether they lay eggs or give birth to babies, whether their body covering is hard or soft, whether they have wings or legs, and so on. Clear children? So this classification was primarily based on superficial or artificial characters, which could be very different in their origin, internal structure or functions. Clear? So in this kind of grouping, the major disadvantage was that the organisms that were otherwise very different were likely to be placed in the same group. For example, we can give example, animals grouped based on the presence or absence of wings put both birds and insects in the same group. Clear? In same group he kept birds as well as insects. So these type of classifications continued till the middle of the 18th century. After that, the two kingdom system came. Two kingdom system is an older system of classification. It was introduced by Carolus Linnaeus. In front of you there is a picture of Carolus Linnaeus in 1758. He recognized two groups of organisms only, plants and animals. So two kingdom system of classification with Plantae and Animalia kingdoms was developed that included all plants and animals respectively. The kingdom Plantae included all the organisms which were fixed in a place, had a spread out appearance, prepared their own food and had a cellulose cell wall. It included all the green plants, mosses, fungi, lichens and bacteria. And the kingdom Animalia included all the organisms which could move about, had a compact body, had a heterotrophic nutrition and lacked a rigid cell wall. cell wall absent. It included all multicellular forms and unicellular organisms called protozoa. But the two kingdom system of classification had certain drawbacks. This system did not distinguish between the eukaryotes and prokaryotes. Prokaryotes means organisms without true nucleus like bacteria and blue-green algae, and eukaryotes, organisms with true nucleus, had been put together. Linnaeus kept unicellular and multicellular organisms in one group only. Clear, children? We are talking about drawbacks of two kingdom classification. So Linnaeus kept unicellular organism and multicellular organisms in one group only. Next drawback, non-photosynthetic fungi having chitin in their cell wall. You know that cell wall of fungi is made up of chitin, had been put together with photosynthetic green plants having cellulosic cell walls. You know that cell wall of plants made up of cellulose. So both non-photosynthetic and photosynthetic kept in same group. So the classification did not differentiate between the heterotrophic fungi and the autotrophic green plants. Classification of organisms into plants and animals was easily done and was easy to understand. In spite, a large number of organisms did not fall into either category. Though the two kingdom classification was used for a long time, it was found to be inadequate or insufficient due to the reasons which we discussed before. So, a need was felt to include not only morphology but other features also, like cell structure, nature of cell wall, mode of nutrition, habitat, methods of reproduction, evolutionary relationships, etc. Hence, the classification has undergone several changes. Clear, children? Over a period of time, and currently we are following the five kingdom classification. Now, the five kingdom classification, which was proposed by R.H. Whittaker in 1969. R.H. Whittaker divided the entire living world into five kingdoms. These five kingdoms are Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae and Animalia. About these kingdoms we will discuss in this chapter. This classification is not only based on morphology, but other criteria are also used, like complexity of cell structure, that is prokaryote or eukaryote, then complexity of organism's body, unicellular and simple or multicellular and complex, then mode of nutrition, photosynthesis, absorption or ingestion, then reproduction and phylogenetic relationships. Now you all see this table carefully, which is showing features of the five kingdoms proposed by R.H. Whittaker in 1969. This table will give you complete information about five kingdom classification. This side we have taken kingdoms like Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae and Animalia, and this side we have taken characteristics on the basis of which we have classified. Let's start with Monera. In Monera kingdom, all the organisms are prokaryotic. Clear, children? But in other kingdoms, kingdom Protista, Fungi, Plantae, Animalia, These kingdoms include eukaryotic organisms. Clear, children? Monera includes prokaryotic organisms, and these four kingdoms include eukaryotic organisms. Monerans are prokaryotic because they do not have a defined nucleus, or in other word we can say that in them nuclear envelope or nuclear membrane absent. But other four kingdoms consist of eukaryotic organisms with well defined nucleus, means in these organisms nuclear envelope or nuclear membrane present. In case of Monera, the cell wall is non-cellulosic. In Protista, cell wall present in some forms. In fungi, cell wall is made up of chitin. In plants, already you know that cell wall is made up of cellulose and polysaccharides. And in Animalia, cell wall is absent. Now we will see the mode of nutrition. In Monera, their mode of nutrition is mainly autotrophic. Clear? In Monera, their mode of nutrition is mainly autotrophic. For example, blue-green algae or cyanobacteria, or sometimes heterotrophic also. For example, most bacteria and mycoplasma. Clear? Now in Protista, photosynthetic or heterotrophs. Like plants, they are autotrophic. For example, algae. Some of them have a cellulose wall and chloroplasts, while others do not have a cell wall and chloroplast. Hence, their mode of nutrition is heterotrophic. Now, fungi, mode of nutrition, absorptive heterotrophs. Some of them feed on dead decaying organic matter, so they are called saprophytes. And some fungi are parasitic, that is, they derive their food from other living organisms. Clear, children? So, mode of nutrition, absorptive heterotrophs, because they take their food either from dead and decaying matter, organic matter, or from living organisms. Now next, plants. Green plants are photosynthetic because they can prepare their own food. And next, Animalia. Animals are ingestive heterotrophs. They cannot prepare their own food. Holozoic type of nutrition is present, means they ingest the food. Now multicellularity. In case of Monera, it is absent. Protista, absent in most forms. Then fungi, present in most forms. Plants, present in all forms. And in Animalia or animals, present in all forms. So this was the overview, and this was also that how the organism classification system evolved.